Get it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you want to be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 76 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They'll run on first down. It's Miles. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's Hill. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Brandon, after last week we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance, rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. They'll run with Hill. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
On 3rd down, here's Hill. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Check 31, check 31.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
They're not ready for this. They still playing. Y'all playing the wrong football. Sponge.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Check. Lucky. Go.
On second down now, it's Hill. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And they'll try the jet sweep here. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they only had a yard to go. They tried to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? From the 27, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. So first and 10 now from the 30. Watson now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. Ball on the 30 as they come up, second and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Third and long. It's Watson. Flushed out right. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivation.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. McKinney. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Black. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch out. Check. Check out. Hot. Kill. Hey, we got to snap it.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Watch the pass.
Off the play fake. McKinney. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McKinney. This is caught. It's Decker. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Texans to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, Watson. It's Hill, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Black. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. They are going for it. Here's Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. Yeah, after that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give, right side. It's Miles. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll try and run for it with Hill. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third.
We've seen this offense go for it on fourth down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On fourth, they'll go again and try it once more. Throw left side complete. That's Black. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Switch. 49, check 49. Check 13.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
You got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Now Watson. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, McKinney, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Zach Cunningham has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, McKinney. And the pressure gets to him again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Watson and the Texans now trailing 14-13. A little under 2.5 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check 99. Check 99. Alert. Switch. Shift. Win the rep. Let's go right here.
On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And once again, Hill, he's been busy.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Hines. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Check. Double up. He's got it.
On 2nd down, Hill. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Watson. Looking middle, and that's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He'll look to throw, and he's going to go down again. Zach Cunningham in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Houston, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.